years ago, I made a video about American Idol and how it slowly morphed into basically a different show through the years. The main premise is the same, but the execution and the experience of watching it have changed a lot. But there is another show that I think has actually changed more since the beginning of its run. So I think it's high time we talk about America's Got Talent. When AGT first aired back in 2006, full of wacky. It's a mush fest of saptions, or so I'm told. We've all been here. You know, scrolling through Facebook, catching up on which of your former high school classmates are currently in prison, when all of a sudden you're hit with that golden buzzer moment. There's something sinister about all of that. The slow motion editing, the overabundance of tears, the copyrighted music that I cannot play, but we all know which song I'm talking about. I'll say it. The implementation of the golden buzzer was the moment our society crumbled. But I got to thinking, maybe it's all in my head. Maybe I've just seen too many of these moments throughout the years, and it's caused me to think that the show has more of them in it than it actually does. Similar to how if you were to just watch the highlights from the Vikings' Pastronaut phase, you might think that they were the most electric team in football. Yes, I'm still pissed about the Pastronaut phase! So I have developed a proprietary grading scale in order to find out if the show is sappier than it used to be, and I call it the Sapometer. It is a heavily flawed and subjective system, but it's what I have. Please let me have this. I want to look at the first episode of the very first season and compare it to the first episode of the most recent season. We'll compare how much sappiness and emotional moments are in each one, and we'll determine once and for all what is going on with America's Got Talent. Let's actually start with the most recent season because it's the show that we are all more familiar with. We're nearly 2 decades deep into the show at this point. This is season 18. The show does not waste any time with introductions. They don't even tell you what about. It's just you know what you're getting into. We're in America, so they don't want to waste any of your time with any nonsense, and that sentence is actually a lie because the first act does exactly that. It is just this guy dancing in a Party City blow-up dinosaur costume that I've been seeing every Halloween for the last, I don't know, 8 years? This isn't even a new thing. You're not going to believe me when I tell you this. They send him through. Honestly, what are we doing? The next act is this violin player. He tells the judges the name of his inspiration, his idol, his violin playing idol that he looks up to, and it just so happens to be Howie Mandel's cousin. And
I saw this amazing violinist named Itzhak Perlman.
My cousin.
Are you serious?
I am serious.
Oh, like I hear
sketchy coincidences that I do not buy for 1 second, okay?
I have 3 young kids. I'm a father of 3, and I want to show them that it is never too late to chase down a dream.
Is that a hint of sap I taste? I think we need to add a little bit to the sapometer. We'll just go just a little bit of sap. Not even enough to poke out from behind. It's hiding behind the plant. Now this may shock you, but I cannot play the violin. But when I watch this guy's performance, I am just so underwhelmed. I don't know. Violin is awesome, and people that can play it very well are very cool. But it sounds like the backing track is doing most of the heavy lifting with this performance. But the people in the crowd go absolutely bananas for it. I know that he's crying about the great response he got from the audience, but I am adding to the sapometer. I just have to. Let's give it just a little bit more, okay? Okay. I want to beat up on this guy for too long. What is next? This rock group is out, and they are just straight out of the 80s, right? They never moved on, and that's fine. I actually love stuff like this. But we are talking about America's Got Freaking Talent. Okay, I'm gonna be very strict with these people. Another shady coincidence that so played at her husband's 40th birthday party.
My husband Joe hired them for his 40th birthday.
Just happens to look up Towie's cousin at her ex-husband's day party, and now they're here? What's right now?
I'm a great believer. You just do whatever you feel you...
Sorry, is
Absolutely no idea why you've had any encouragement.
they sent these guys through as well. Even if these guys did blow everyone, they are on the same level. This very cool dinosaur dancing guy. And that just doesn't sit right with, okay, this next group, I have a lot. It's okay, and they get a standing ovation simply for being from Ukraine. I'm at so far they're doing something that I couldn't do. The problem is during the act, they went to do their final moves. They didn't do it, they fell on you guys. You know, that's a bummer, but these things, it's actually kind of cool to see and people that are doing some kind of stunt. It's cool fail a little bit because it's in your brain like, uh-oh, this can happen. I think there's a lot of times when I'm watching an act that's very intense, takes a lot of skill, and in my brain during, because they're doing such a good, these people didn't make it look that easy. So they try again, and they fell more times, swing and a miss, they fell 4 times, and you would assume might be grounds for disqualification depending on who you ask. No, the judges sent them through.
In balancing acts, but I believe we're far more dangerous, far more skilled than ever seen before.
Hell, no they aren't. Moves that they completed were not far more skilled and dangerous than anything you've seen before. That is just not true.
It doesn't matter that you fell down. What matters is that you got up and tried.
This is a competition. What matters is that they fell, and that quote just I have to add to the Sappometer. So the judges were impressed that did something pretty cool. I need to go on America's Got Talent. I'm gonna tell them that I can literally teleport before your very eyes from one side of the stage to the other, and then when I don't do it, they'll have to send me There Has Been a President set. The next guy is a magician. He has this kind of weird video editing, interact screen magic act. It's actually pretty cool. They sent him through, of course, because they send everybody through, I guess. All of the decisions so far have been unanimous. The judges have not disagreed on anything, and that includes the dinosaur. One person thought that he didn't go through something very fishy. The next act that comes out is this Japanese comedian, and this is the first and only X of the night so far.
Without being rude, I could...
Let's say I'm on a research paper about the future I'm going to include in my paper. Use Grammarly to paraphrase so it fits more.
could do that.
Simon not being rude is so in 20, and I don't think he ever got it back. No. Simon actually credits that awful accident with his change in demeanor, his change in attitude. I applaud him for that, because Simon was a nasty little freak.
15,000 people applied in Cleveland, and yet the odds of you getting through are 1,000,000 to 1.
So it's good to see him grow in that way. I am actually happy about that. What I'm not happy about is that this act, this comedian guy, that took up 6.5 minutes of this episode. It wasn't charming, it wasn't silly, it wasn't fun, it was just so dumb. This episode has a 2-hour time slot in prime time, and they spent 6.5 minutes on this Japanese man landing a helicopter on his ass. He also didn't even do that, so. The next act is this kid who's a singer. He's got a little bow tie on. He's very charming. Good for him. He's great. The next guy is from the Philippines. He does this shadow art act, and Howie actually asks him,
Do you think this could be a Vegas show, an arena show?
Yes.
kind of like the dancing dinosaur guy, right, Howie? This guy will not quit yapping about his dream being meeting Beyonce, okay? And I know that the producers fed him that.
So my favorite artist is actually Beyonce. Hi, Queen! This is one of my biggest dreams, to meet Beyonce.
Oh yeah, you want to meet Beyonce? You just run with it. That's gonna get so much social media engagement. Oh, people are gonna be tweeting about that so much.
Driving social media engagement, I'm adding that to the Sappometer. But all that being said, his act is hilarious, and he's so good at it. It's so impressive. So they send him through, and I give that 2 thumbs up, baby. The next act is a stand-up comedian. There's no sob story involved in this, and that's actually shocking to me, but he's pretty funny. So they send him through again. That's great. Nothing more to say there. But the last act of the night, okay, we're on act number 10. This is it, the big finale.
We are the Mzansi Youth Choir.
Tell me about the choir. How did it start? Tell me everything.
Well, it's a little bit of a sad story, but it has a great ending, of course.
Ah, yes. Of course it does. Bit of a sad story, happy ending. We're gonna add that to the Sapometer right there. But this act was very good, and these big ensembles tend to do very well in like these large stage competitions, so that's great. But there's another layer to the sappiness of this, and I will touch on that now. The song that they performed was a song written and performed by a former Golden Buzzer winner who recently died of cancer. This whole story is actually incredibly heartwarming, incredibly inspiring, and I fell right into it. I was sitting in the coffee shop, tearing up for goodness sake. Does this count as double sap? We have to add so much sap to this.
We were very inspired and touched by her story that we decided to record the song. So I was surprised.
She slapped us with a copyright infringement lawsuit. It was actually very messy.
It was just breathtaking. Honestly.
Thank you.
So the act gets the golden buzzer, and this sad rendition of an Elton John song plays, and it's just off the charts. The sap is, we're maxed out on sap. There were hardly any auditions. I said that this was in a 2-hour time slot, okay, in prime time. There were only 10 auditions. That is shameful, okay? Everything was dragging on for so long. 6.5 minutes for the guy to try to land a helicopter on his ass. What are we doing? America's Got Talent. America should be embarrassed. Another note, every single vote was completely unanimous, except for the one time Howie thought he was being funny and gave the Japanese ass helicopter a yes. So to me, it feels like there are almost no stakes involved at all, because the acts feel like they have already been approved to move on or to not move on by producers. And that's before they even perform. And I'm saying that because the Ukrainian act did not do what they were supposed to, and they got sent to the next round. They fell 3 times. They fell 3 times. And the judge's excuse, that would have been pretty cool if you did it. What the hell? So the judges just feel like 4 additional hosts. It doesn't seem like they hold any power. They don't even bicker. They don't fight for their guy, you know? I feel like they used to fight for their guy. It's all just so robotic. Do you remember the clip that went viral a few years ago when One Direction was like being put together on the X Factor? They were piecing all the members together. They were going through the auditions and being like, oh, this guy would work here. Maybe this guy should be the leader. And it really seemed like the judges were actually doing something. Like the judges had a say in it. They were forming One Direction. Holy smokes. And now I'm just not getting that vibe anymore. It seems like the judges basically don't even need to be there. We all know that reality shows only have the tiniest sliver of reality in them at all, if anything, you know? So I know what I really expected, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see what it used to be like. So let's go back in time a little bit and look at season 1, see how it stacks up. Very quickly before we do that, 60 seconds, we're gonna talk about today's sponsor. The company Helix is sponsoring this video, and that sleepover is canceled, by the way. Helix makes premium mattresses and bedding that are customized to fit your needs and sent straight to your door for free if you live in the US. It comes to you rolled up in a box, is very simple to set up. You just take their short Helix sleep quiz, and based on your answers, they will recommend a mattress that should be a great fit for you. Jaden and I both sleep on our sides, and we prefer a medium firmness mattress, so we got matched with the Midnight. We've had it for years now. It is the best mattress that we've ever owned. We never wake up feeling sore. We fall asleep very fast. We have no complaints about the mattress. Helix offers 20 unique mattresses, from their award-winning Luxe and Ultra Premium Elite collections to their Helix Kids mattresses. In case you're worried about purchasing a mattress that you have not laid on, your Helix comes with a 100-night sleep trial. They also offer a 10-year warranty, financing options, and flexible payment plans to make getting a great new mattress as accessible as possible for you. If you are interested in getting a new mattress, you can go to helixsleep.com/Scott Kramer, and that will get you 20% off. You will also get 2 free pillows with that as well. Thank you to Helix for sponsoring this video. Thank you to you guys for using my links when I have them. It helps me out a ton. Now let's get back to the video. All right, the Sapometer has been emptied, and I'm ready to fill it back up. So this show was clearly created to be a more broad version of the music music-based shows that came before it, like American Idol and X Factor, those shows were all about who could sing the right notes the best. Boring! That's what Rock Band is for. America's Got Talent was for anyone and everyone, and that casting call brought out the dang circus. For goodness sake, this looks more like the line to get into a taping of Let's Make a Deal than America's Got Talent.
Through these gates have swept some of the most talented stars in the world. Where is all that talent today? Sure, celebrities are a dime a dozen, but I'm talking about real stars. Well, it's not going so good, is it?
Well, tell us how you really feel, Regis. Hollywood is dead. Brad Pitt just ain't cutting it anymore.
Please welcome the big Hasselhoff himself, David Hasselhoff. There's absolutely nothing he hasn't done. From running down the beach in his shorts, to talking to a car, to serenading the Germans in a flashing jacket.
Friendly fire, Regis! Even the judges are not safe from the razzing of early 2000s reality shows. Let's dive into it. The way that this works is that the entire crowd is the acts, and then they pull them down from the audience to perform. So this isn't just a room full of spectators. These people have stakes in the competition itself. The first guy to come on is just a really fast snapper. He snaps his fingers quickly.